Hello, today is Thursday, May 9th, 2024. I'm Sarah Krafasi, and this is Staying Connected. Layoffs, downsizing, right sizing, or whatever other term of art a service provider decides to use all effectively mean the same thing. And as enterprises know, these events are a constant part of the business life cycle. Sometimes these actions are simply a part of a business restructuring itself as it evolves over time, but other times an adjustment to headcount is a sign that not all is well with a business. On today's podcast, I'm joined by Brent Knight from TC2 to discuss a recent layoff announcement coming out of Lumen, and he'll tell us what that might mean for enterprise customers in the ICT marketplace. Brent, thanks for joining me today. So, can you tell us exactly what Lumen announced and when?
Yeah, hi, Sarah. Thanks for the invite, and it's great to be with you today. The word layoffs is never a word that most of us like to hear, but it is the reality of the world that we live in. In April, Lumen announced that it would be reducing its staff by around 7% through layoffs and voluntary separations, and would begin doing so immediately with expected completion by the end of June.
Were there any warning signs that preceded this move?
Yes, it's been widely reported in the press that Lumen has been facing financial issues, especially related to its debt. And that's something that they somewhat addressed earlier this year with a debt restructuring. And let me be clear, I'm not here to provide judgment on Lumen's financial statements. But what I do want to touch on are the less publicized moves that Lumen has been making over the past year and how those, combined with this recent layoff announcement, give us reason for caution with Lumen. We've chronicled two of those concerns on previous Staying Connected podcast. First, last year we discussed that Lumen was increasing out of contract term rates by 7.47%, and they did so with only about a month's notice. So they weren't providing customers much runway to address the price hike. And just last month, my colleagues Teresa Knudsen and Frank Zagrodnik discussed a recent Lumen move to eliminate the operations service manager position, which had been provided to clients as part of Lumen's standard service offering. Instead, Lumen would now offer the option to engage a technical services manager for a separate fee if a customer wanted to maintain the service support.
Yeah, those few moves definitely gave me pause when they were announced. And as to the recent layoff announcement, though, have you seen any immediate impact or do you see any coming?
Yes, almost immediately after this layoff announcement was made, we received notice from one of our contacts at Lumen that we worked with regularly on client bids that she and the enterprise proposal team that she worked for were let go. This was a key team within Lumen that helped provide us support as part of their bids to clients. How Lumen will address providing what this team did previously, we obviously don't know yet, but there is concern that every time these resources are eliminated, there's a degradation in customer support. This move, combined with the other negative changes we've previously chronicled, gives us reason for concern.
So, what should enterprise customers who've worked with an enterprise proposal team do going forward?
Well, hopefully your Lumen representative notified you of this resource elimination. And if so, they should have provided you with a name to work with moving forward. If you did not receive any notification, and it's been a while since you've worked with the enterprise proposal team, you should try reaching out to them. And if they're no longer with Lumen, then hopefully there's an auto reply of whom you should reach out to now. Regardless of your situation, you should speak with your account team representative and have them provide you with an update on this change and how Lumen will address your needs in any future engagements.
Good advice. So, what do you think the impact of Lumen's actions might be in the IT marketplace?
Competition, competition, competition. That's the hallmark of what a great and innovative IT marketplace requires. Lumen has great assets, has an excellent geographic footprint, and has long been part of a highly competitive marketplace for many years. Anytime we see a provider like Lumen struggle financially and begin making the sorts of customer unfriendly moves that we've talked about over the past year, it becomes worrisome that their position as a market competitive option begins to wane.
So, how dire does this risk becoming in the competitive landscape for IT services?
As much as there's a realistic concern over Lumen's position, the good news is that the ITC marketplace has become more competitive over the past decade with new entrants like the cable companies and even a Microsoft. They've entered the marketplace, and therefore there will be other competitive options out there, especially those that will compete aggressively with large market incumbents like AT&T and Verizon.
Got it. Any final takeaways as for what this announcement by Lumen really means for our enterprise customers?
Yeah, I think clients just need to be fully aware and have their eyes wide open on what's happening with Lumen and the potential risks that may come from the not so customer friendly moves that have been happening over the past year. Customers need to pay special attention to their support levels or lack thereof, and cost structure and be prepared to make moves with their IT support relationships as it becomes necessary. Clients need to be fully aware of what their options are, not only to move services away from Lumen if need be, but to find the right partner to work with for their services needs moving forward. These are areas where TC2 and LB3 provide support to our clients today.
All right, great stuff. Thank you so much for the update, Brent. And if you'd like to discuss the impact of Lumen's most recent announcement on your organization, please don't hesitate to give Brent a call or send him an email. You can also stay up to date in all manner of ICT topics by subscribing to Staying Connected, checking out our websites, and of course by following us on LinkedIn.